Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new Super Mario Brothers movie that just came out last Friday. So I'm a little late to the game, but I have some thoughts. And we're going to get into it. So buckle up. Alrighty. I'm gonna do a little spoiler-free review first, and then we're gonna get into kind of the nitty-gritty. So the first point, and what everybody was concerned about at the very beginning, before it was even released, was Chris Pratt's voice being Mario. And I honestly have no problem with it. When the trailer dropped, I was like, really, Chris Pratt? Because he was like the voice of the Lego guy in the Lego movie. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's a little weird. But after seeing the movie, you can hardly tell that it's Chris Pratt. Like, he does a good New York accent throughout the whole thing, and it's pretty good. It's pretty funny, and I wasn't distracted by it being Chris Pratt at all. Don't even worry if you're not gonna go see it because you don't like Chris Pratt or because you don't think he's the good voice of Mario. I wouldn't even be worried about it because you can hardly tell that it's Chris Pratt. So let's go in and just kind of talk about what the plot of the movie is. It starts off with Mario and Luigi creating this ad for their plumbing business and starting a plumbing business in New York. And their family's a little disappointed that they quit their job to start their own company. But then Mario sees the news saying that New York is flooding, and he gets himself and Luigi to go and fix the problem. They go down into the sewers of New York, and that's where they find the famous green pipe, where Luigi gets taken into the pipe and Mario follows shortly after to go find his brother. Luigi gets separated into the Dark Kingdom where Bowser lives, and Mario finds his way into the Mushroom Kingdom where he meets Peach and Toad, and together they have to stop Bowser from taking over the Mushroom Kingdom. So they have to go and get more manpower at the Donkey Kong Kingdoms. They team up with Donkey Kong and all the other Kongs. Ultimately, they go and maybe not fight Bowser, may or may not win, who knows? You gotta find out by watching the movie. So that's my spoiler-free synopsis of the plot. And overall, the plot's not really that important. I think why you're going to go see this movie is because you're wanting to have that nostalgia and you want to experience Mario on the big screen. So it's not really that big of a deal. The plot's not super important, I would say. But overall, it's a good movie, and I think you should go see it. So if you don't want to be spoiled from here on out, I think you should click off and go watch the movie for yourself. But if you don't care about spoilers, or if you've already seen the movie, we're going to get into my in-depth review. So here we go. So let's rewind a little bit and start from the beginning again. I thought that the nostalgia of this movie was amazing. I don't know everything there is to know about Mario, but I've played since, Game Boy days, Mario 3, all the Mario parties, all the Mario Karts. So I know a lot about Mario, but my husband knows more about Mario, and he was picking up a lot more of the nostalgia factors than I was, but I still thoroughly enjoyed everything that was on there. At the very beginning, you see Bowser going into the Ice Kingdom with the penguins on his big fire ship, lava ship. You guys, I don't know any of the terms, so you're just gonna have to ignore it, but we'll put visual aid up there so that you know what I'm talking about. So he is going in his big Fire Kingdom ship thing, and the song that's on there is the same song if you're playing on Mario 3. If you're on those the ship levels, it's the same song. So that was a cool nostalgia factor. And then it jump cuts to
The Mario and Luigi commercial.
And they have their thick Italian accents. And they kind of nip the voice thing in the bud right at the beginning. And a lot of people were kind of like, why even bring it up or it's like not necessary. I think it was fine. Like, there was nothing really to be said about it. Then it brings up the Wrecking Crew, who used to employ Mario. I just thought he was a funny character, didn't really think much of it, but my husband has played Mario since the beginning, and I guess that's like the first iteration of Mario is the Wrecking Crew, so that was pretty fun for him. Then you move on to his family dynamic and his family being kind of disappointed that Mario quit his job and roped his brother into quitting his job to start this new company. And that was about it. You got like a 5-second little snippet of his parents being disappointed in him, and then they don't really touch on it, or they barely touch on it throughout. And I think if you're going to make that a plot point, then make it a bigger plot point. I thought it was kind of unnecessary because it seemed like they were trying to do something like what Disney does, where they have these big plot points that are catered to adults as well as catered to little kids. Like, adults can see themselves or see their lives in it. And I think it just kind of was meh. Didn't really do anything. But maybe we'll learn more about that family dynamic in the second one if they make a second one, which they probably will. And then when they're going into the sewers, they do the no 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 song, and I was grinning. I thought that was really clever how they integrated the just little pieces of music throughout from all the games. And then they get to the Mushroom Kingdom, where Luigi is not in the Mushroom Kingdom. He's in Bowser's land and the Dark Kingdom. Mario meets Toad, and I thought Toad was funny. And I think they didn't flush out any of the characters because they didn't really have to flush out any of the characters. I think they really knew who they were marketing this movie to, people that know Mario and like Mario a lot. So they didn't have to go in depth of who Toad was or who Bowser is or Peach, that kind of stuff. And I didn't think they really needed to. So when they finally meet Peach, I thought Peach was a great character. I like Anya Taylor-Joy, who's the voice of Peach. Think she did a good job. And I really liked when he starts doing the training. It's basically just a nod to Mario 3 with him trying to get the power-ups and running through the levels and falling off and getting the fish eating him. And I thought that was really clever and fun. So then it quickly moves on to them going to assemble an army to go and fight Bowser. So Peach needs to wrangle up the Kongs and the Donkey Kong Kingdom. And I loved the Donkey Kong Kingdom because that's my favorite map on Mario Kart. And I thought it was really clever how they integrated the carts and building the carts and all that stuff in Donkey Kong's Kingdom. I thought their fight was really funny with Mario and DK, and him throwing the big barrels at Mario was very nostalgic of the first DK game. But one thing that I don't really think was necessary was his dad being disappointed in him. It was kind of this weird way of DK and Mario to bond together, and I think it was unnecessary. They could have started out being friends, or like they could have hit it off and just they didn't have to have that plot line of my dad hates me, well my dad hates me too, you know. But then you get them building their carts, and I thought that was so funny. They're like flipping through like the menu, select basically what they can do and what their carts are and what they look like. And it was very like as if you were playing the video game selecting the carts. They have the Rainbow Road. So you have to really pay attention to the Rainbow Road scene because that is so cool and it's filled with nostalgia. When Mario drifts, he gets like a power boost, and then if you pay attention to Peach, she's driving next to somebody and she can like catch their wind and she gets a power boost. It was really fun to watch. The blue shell guy was funny. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, they're probably gonna just have him be a character, but not actually like the blue shell, but then he ends up being the blue shell and like swirls around them and they all like fall, and it was so fun. This isn't very linear because it kind of cuts to everyone throughout the whole movie, which I actually liked that it kept it very fast paced. And I thought Bowser was hilarious. Jack Black is amazing, and I understand why they chose Jack Black for Bowser. I think that was what everybody was most excited for when the trailers were hitting, and it didn't disappoint. His song is so funny. I wish it was longer, like the full 2-minute song, but I understand why they kept it short. And the little Magic Koopa, thought he was funny, and when he's like,
come jam with me.
And they're like playing the piano, and it does like the no 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 no, and then it does the little twinkling that the Magic Koopa guy, how his song goes. I thought that was really good. And how the Magic Koopa is all dressed up like Peach, and he's asking her to marry him, and he's like this sensitive guy, but also everybody's like,
But we're gonna, like, destroy everything, right?
he's like,
Oh, well, of course.
with Bowser, I think when they were showing Bowser, they could have showed Luigi even more. I think Luigi was kind of a side character throughout this when he should have been more of a main character. And I understand that the whole plot was to save Luigi for Mario, but I think they could have done that a little bit differently to integrate Luigi a little bit more. Because you see Mario going through all these trainings and becoming better throughout the Mushroom Kingdom, and then Luigi's just locked up. So I kind of agree with everybody when they were saying that he should have had more screen time. What was kind of funny was when Luigi was locked up, you have all the other penguins, and then there's that depressing star. And I still don't know who that star is supposed to be, so I didn't really think much of it. I thought the star was a little bit annoying until the very end, if you've seen it or if you haven't seen it. At the very end, the star...
Luma Lee is the name of that.
Oh, Luma Lee is the name of that character. All right, cool. I'll forget that in 5 seconds. I thought he was kind of like annoying or like, whatever, didn't really need him in there. But if you know who that character is, then that's a cool nostalgia point. And then they swiftly are taken to the wedding where they're going to be a sacrifice, which I thought was really funny. We're going to sacrifice you for the wedding. And the characters of the wedding, again, just nostalgia. You see like the big King Boo ghost, which was cool because that's one of my favorite characters. And then the big King Bomb. And there's like one of the gifts is the Yoshi egg. So the green Yoshi, so maybe that will be a plot point later on if they make more movies. Then they go back to New York and do their final battle scene, and I heard a lot of people not really understanding why the final battle had to be in New York, or they thought that it was just to show like his parents that they are worth something, and I just think it was good fun. I didn't think anything of it. It didn't have to be in the Mushroom Kingdom. It didn't have to be in New York. It just was in New York. So that's all. And Luigi finally gets his kind of like big moment at the end where he protects Mario with a sewer crate, and together they can conquer the world. A lot of people didn't like that Luigi also got the star, and then Luigi was just like kicking butt and taking names. But I thought that was fine. That's what the star is supposed to do. Even if you're, the little Mario, don't have any power-ups, the star still gives you unlimited power. So I think that was a good way of integrating Luigi even more. And it was just fun to watch with the music, just seeing them defeat Bowser. Yay, they saved New York. They saved the day. And then it ends with them back in the Mushroom Kingdom, which I think is great setup for the next movie. So that's pretty much all of it. So my overall in-depth review would be, yes, you should go see it. And I think a 55 is a little low for the critic score on Rotten Tomato, but I also don't think that this was a critically acclaimed film in any way. It was just a good film. Little kids will love it. People that love Mario will love it. It was a little annoying, but the couple next to us were older than me, grown adults, probably in their 30s, and they were laughing, they were moving around, they were talking about all the scenes. Don't do that if you go to the movies. That's ridiculous. So I would say the nerd score is an 80. So that's about it. If you'd like to see more content from me, then you should click like and also subscribe. The buttons are down below. It's not really hard. And if this video gets to 10 likes, I will do another movie review for you. So, thank you.